I was like, oh, that shit looks dope. Like you and Tobias showed me Star Citizen,
Hmm.
and I was like, oh, I'm all about this shit. And then I was like, yo, is that game coming out yet? And you both looked at me, and you're like, bruh, that shit's never coming
No.
out. Like, oh, no, sir, that's not a game. We were showing you our dream. Like, we were showing you something that we'd like to happen. We weren't showing you something that was gonna happen. There's a difference.
Yeah, recording.
Ooh, welcome to the podcast, ladies and gentlemen.
Welcome everybody. We got Josh the Mountain Hall. We got
Ooh.
Alex. Monty Python's a dope movie. I envy you, Roberts, and we got Cottrell, shitty impression, Denzel Washington. Let's go. What are we gonna talk about first? Oh, that's some
Well,
shitty news first.
oh yeah, jump on it.
um, gaming. That's so depressing. Gaming personality Total Biscuits had
Yeah.
passed away. I know it was cancer. I think it was not prostate cancer. It was something else. It was awful. He's been battling that shit for like what 7 years. He
Yeah,
kind
it's
of
been a
like
hot
I think
mess.
he quit
It's
and like
yeah, he quit cancer for a little while, didn't he?
Yeah,
No,
yeah,
yeah, like
he
that's
no.
it
I
was
meant
in
no. I meant
recession.
he
remission.
yeah
Remission.
Remission, thank
yeah
you.
he quit
Recession.
he quit like YouTube for like he retired from YouTube for
Oh
like
yeah.
2013, and then he's been fighting it for a while, and he lost the fight, and rest in peace, dude. Like I can't believe you're fucking gone. It's really messed up.
Yeah.
Did you guys watch him as well?
Oh yeah, I was a Total Biscuit fan.
Yeah.
Yeah, what did he what was one of the videos you guys really enjoyed from him? Like
He was one of the first guys that got me to really like way back in when he first started. It got me to view YouTube as like a platform for not only comedy, because obviously it's a thing for that, but
mhm.
informational stuff that about whether it be games or reviews or just something good to listen to got me into that stream of things, and I really started seeing YouTubers and Twitch as like a viable platform for whether it be content, survival, a job, you name it. But he was one of the first
Yeah.
that I ever came across. It was like,
Yeah.
what was it? What was Strong Bad was one of them. Total Biscuits. Um,
Mhm.
although Strong Bad was
Well,
way before that.
also I gotta my thing for Total Biscuit was basically I feel like he was one of the early reviewers of games that just weren't like sucking like dick about
Yeah.
like how
Oh
they
god,
review
this
their
man.
games. Like he wasn't afraid to just like call out a AAA studio on releasing some shit basically. Because I
Hmm.
mean he didn't have any affiliations really other
Because I
than
don't know
he
if you
had an
guys
audience.
remember back. So this is like 8, 9 years ago. The first time
Hmm.
I saw him talking was during StarCraft 2 stuff.
Oh wow,
He
that's
did that
how far
long
back is
before
that?
his channel. Yeah, that was like 8 or 9 years ago, something along those lines.
Hmm.
Um, and that's where I first encountered him. Was like Alex said, it was a no bullshit thing. He's talking about learning and playing StarCraft competitively. I think it's all over his
Yeah.
YouTube channel. It's like his oldest stuff.
Damn. Yeah. He's the reason why he's the reason why I kind of have like a system for how I rate games,
Hmm.
without without being, too critical, or like, too, blowjobby. Like it's a really shitty thing that he's gone. It's crazy.
He was a big name. He was
But
Yeah.
one of the first.
yeah, I mean he did leave behind a solid legacy of
Yeah.
and the way that he changed a lot of I feel like the way a lot of people now like review games and just how they interact with media in general.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, he kind of made a standard for it because most people really don't fucking follow that standard. I will never let IGN rest on that whole, too much water issue. That shit was hilarious. That'll never die.
Too
That's
much
a
water.
funny thing to me. Yeah. Oh, you
Should
never
I?
heard?
Oh,
Okay,
sorry.
so
Should I not get you started?
no, I'm not. It's gonna be short. I swear. It was so IGN was rating Pokemon the remake for Ruby and Sapphire,
Yeah.
and they had so many nice things to say about it. In fact, they had like the whole page pretty much like this game is dope. There's so many things you can do. You can have new features that allow you to capture Pokemon better, all that shit. And when they have at the end of it, they say pros and then there's cons, and they gave it an 8.0. But then when they went to actually no, I'm sorry, they gave it a 7 or something like that. They gave it like a middle grade, even though they said all these good things about it and said at the end of it, it's like pros, good Pokemon, good memories, good all this, all that stuff. And then cons was like too much water. And it was very vague and they didn't bring it up at all in the article. And it was just really stupid. And it was dumb. And people kind of went off on it because it was like, wow, you rate the game this because there's too much water. It's just that. That's all.
All right.
See, that wasn't too long.
No.
See, I'm good. Could shorten it up a little
That
bit.
was
All right,
not-
so
That was not.
what a
Smash
shitty
Bros.
hev-
Disliked.
yeah, Smash. That's like, what the hell, Kapil? That's a rough start. All right, so Fortnite.
I think this
Boss,
is in
that was
chronological order here because it was basically like right after our last podcast this happened.
Oh,
We can
okay.
tag onto the back end of this. Fortnite builds a website to track the new lawsuit with PUBG.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting here that we actually have news for Fortnite and news for PUBG and news for
Yeah.
Fortnite and PUBG.
Yeah.
And none of us play these games
Yeah.
on a regular basis.
That's not true. That's not true.
Do you play Fortnite?
I mean,
I play both. I mean, not a lot, but I do play both occasionally.
on a good shit, I do play a match of Fortnite.
I
That's what you're
have
saying.
played one match
No, I
of
don't play
PUBG,
mobile.
and I have never played Battle Royale in Fortnite.
Oh,
I
dude.
played H1Z1 Battle Royale, which is weird because that game was not a Battle Royale game, if I remember correctly. And that shit was trash.
I mean, Fortnite doesn't need more people like, hyping them up, but it's pretty good, man. You should try it out if you like online gaming.
I'm sure it's wonderful. Here's my problem. I am being a productive individual right now. I have been with Mr. Roberts here. I have been actually like relearning how to be an artist over the last 2 weeks.
Sweet.
Because as much as I hate to admit it, I have not been one in the last 3 years. I have been a small rodent putting blocks in holes. Like like we need this thing. All right, put this round block in the square peg and see if it works. Okay, cool, you're done. Move on to the next one.
In no universe is Bizarro Josh a small rodent.
That's
Right. That's what I was thinking. I was like, all right, small. Okay. I mean, all right, former bouncer in my college years. All yeah.
Oh, that conversation from earlier
Yeah.
the podcast is privy to.
Nice.
Gee whiz, that was insane to hear.
Well, let's talk about Fortnite here.
Yeah, so the battle pass tracking, what's that exactly?
So, basically, they made a website where I guess you can check the battle pass challenges. I'm not sure what battle pass challenges are. But it basically looks like they're adding some I would say like kind of like quests or something like that where like they do have like Fortnite has challenges like oh you need to get a kill with a sniper rifle or you need to kill 3 people or you need to play 3 games or something and it like gives you in-game items and stuff.
Okay.
So let's see here. It looks like okay. There's like users can check in week after week to see all the battle pass challenges and their locations on the map. And
Battle pass sounds like a season pass thing.
So yeah, Battle Pass I think is like a premium Fortnite thing. Um, it's like you usually will like pay for like entry into like a season or something like that. So like
Hmm.
every season they're like, all right, you can buy into this season and you know, there's different things that happen in game. It's like a freemium thing. Like you can just download the free version of Fortnite Battle Royale and just like play it or whatever. But I think if you pay like $10 a month or something, you can go like you can be part of this Battle Pass like thing where they have like seasons and like rewards and stuff like that. That's like based on
Right.
how good you do and whatnot. So,
Okay.
um, as being a cheapskate myself, I've never done Battle Pass, so them adding more features for Battle Pass, I don't really give a shit. But it's cool that, they're catering to their community, especially the ones who are making them money.
Yeah, especially the ones that are making the money. I guess that's, check your boxes. Don't hurt the ones that aren't checking them. Shit like that,
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah. On the note of money, I learned a wonderful new little fact. Uh, PUBG has brought in like $2.2 billion in revenue,
Jesus.
and to counter that,
Wasn't it
Fortnite brings in
3.2?
maybe it was 3.2. Either way, it's actually the smaller impressive number. The subsequent like competition, which is Fortnite, apparently brings in an estimated 200 million a month.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Like holy shit.
That's so retarded. Excuse my language. That's so idiotic.
It's
It
Yeah.
makes me so angry.
disgusting. That's what it is.
Yeah, that
I,
makes me angry.
you know, I, I don't know. I'm trying to remember if Fortnite has loot boxes, like, in the actual sense of like pay money to unlock this crate.
I think it's
I,
pay money to unlock skins. I don't think it's
Okay,
crates.
you
It
can
might be
buy
crates.
skins outright. I'm actually okay with
Skins and
that.
guns and stuff. Yeah, no, I have no problem with it. Epic of all game studios has a reputation for being very good to their customer base.
Yeah.
So I don't know how they do it. It doesn't matter. I believe they're doing it well because I have faith in that company. Hell, when they tanked Paragon, they gave everybody all their money back, and that's a lot of money.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Like that's nuts. That was like $12 million in
That's
assets. If
true. They did do that.
They
Keep
were like,
reporting
all right,
too.
oh, they released 12 million.
we'll just take like like 1 month of earnings from Fortnite where we moved all of
Yeah.
our Paragon team to
Yep.
just give it back to the
Because
Paragon
and it
players.
means something. It matters. Like
Yeah.
just the fact that you and me back in the day, remember when they went to a pay system, a pay monthly system,
Yeah.
and they're like, "Nah, this shit ain't working. Here, you can all have it for free. Here's some more. Here's all your money back." And
Yeah.
I have still have credit from that because they're great.
Yeah, I spent that money.
I think I have like
Damn.
$3
I bought
left.
I bought some stuff.
I
It's good
got
that I actually spent that on like Unreal Marketplace stuff before like Fortnite was a thing, or I probably would
Yeah,
have bought
same
some
here.
shitty fucking like skins or
I,
something
I think I bought like
in the game.
an ocean wave pack because I wanted to break down material or something like that.
Yeah.
Regardless,
Yeah, but
Damn. Okay.
um yeah, so PUBG you said 3.3. Oh yeah, here we go.
Yeah,
No,
they're gonna finally fix their
I'm wrong
fucking.
and you're wrong. What I had 3.3 in my head was um that was the record. 3.3 million was the record of simultaneous players set by PUBG, and Epic surpassed that with 3.4 million. Now,
Oh my.
generated
well, I'm talking
sales,
revenue.
PUBG has generated 1.3 billion in sales, and Fortnite is pulling in
Jeez.
200
That
million a month.
seems very small. Oh, well, either way,
That's ridiculous.
disgusting amounts of money, and Fortnite is making more.
Yeah,
Yeah, disgusting
Essentially
amount of
printing
money.
money.
and that's just it says PUBG has generated sales of 1.3 billion. That's not profits either.
Yeah,
That's not like yeah,
that's just selling the game.
yeah, that's sales. But you know,
Jesus.
so um I mean, this kind of brings us into talking about the lawsuit. You guys okay with talking about this?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
yeah, Fortnite is actively being sued. Uh,
In South Korea.
oh,
In
okay.
South Korea specifically, why?
Yes. Because the one in the United States got tanked. They lost.
What?
Interesting.
I believe the
How did they
article
lose
is in
that
South
shit?
Korea. Because Epic, so Tencent not only owns PUBG now, Tencent owns a majority share in Epic, and Epic is the engine that runs PUBG. Like, they have no leg to stand on.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought Fortnite, the Epic was losing. I was
Oh,
like,
no,
I
God,
don't.
no.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
No.
Yeah.
yeah. That's
I
why I was like,
mean,
huh? Like, what? That doesn't make any sense.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
I
No,
personally, I think that it's like it's just an all around kind of shitty situation. Like
Right.
obviously, I'm a big fan of Epic Games, Unreal Engine, all that stuff. But you gotta feel for the little guy a little bit, man.
Do I?
I have
like they've been
no,
early access since like day fucking one. I mean,
I have
they're like
zero remorse for PUBG. They have a
they're
button
like
that refreshes
Daisy.
the broken UI. Fuck that.
Yeah,
Well, not
they're like
anymore.
They're like
Well, maybe they
No, it's
do.
still in there. They just put it in the menu now.
But
Jesus.
so I guess here's my thing though. Is like just because you don't do something well necessarily, I get it, man. Like they definitely, and I'm on that train of just they messed up a lot of shit that
Hmm.
Fortnite just did right, and that's cool. They have probably a way bigger team, and they can kind of afford that stuff. I just mean, as a developer, I feel like that would suck if the company whose engine I'd been using for a year or two to work on my game was just like, oh yeah, we can do that too. And then your
Yeah,
game
that's
just
true.
slowly becomes irrelevant. Like think about the team on
See,
PUBG. Like they've been making this thing in mods for different games for like something like 5-10 years now.
I
Right.
see your point, and I agree with it in most situations, but I don't in this one because the concept of battle royale showed up from what was it? I think it was a Japanese movie years and years and years ago. It was literally called Battle Royale. I thought that because
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. There's a
that's where the
movie. Yeah,
concept came from.
that's where the concept came from. Right.
And before PUBG even was a thing, you had what was it, DayZ?
Yeah,
It was
Daisy.
DayZ.
Well,
the
There was the
Daisy
armor mod.
wasn't Battle Royale, but
the
yeah,
It was the
Daisy
armor
the
was like
mod.
that
listen,
bad.
there was a mod for DayZ that was the
Yeah.
battle royale, and the creators of PUBG made that mod.
Hmm.
Oh,
And prior to that, Arc had it in their system before that existed. The mod existed.
I disagree
The
because
survival of the fittest has been around forever.
in Arc,
In Arc, yes.
dude. All right, hang on. I'm gonna look this up right now
I'm
because
going to.
you're
Yep.
I
very wrong.
disagree with your disagreement.
Fittest
Because
debut.
it was a mod for Arma 3, and it was also yeah. Hang on.
Oh, if it was an Arma 3 mod, then I completely recant my statement.
It was an Arma 3
Oh,
mod, and I have to double check because I I know that um, there was a few different mods that they made. I just can't remember which games they were for.
So it was. So what was the first thing the PUBG guys did? It was Arma.
I don't know, man. I'm looking it up. I'm
Okay.
sorry.
I just. Well, I was looking up too because I got the date for Survival of the Fittest.
All right.
Oh wait, that's when they stopped development of it. When did they start development of it? Well, we're being silent on the podcast, so um, so Survival of the Fittest from Studio Wildcard stopped developing in September 2016.
Jesus.
Um, I'm trying to
I
find out
mean,
when it
they
started.
went. This was still when the game was in early access too, right?
Yes, because it only recently became a non-early access, quote unquote, but Ark's development cycle. Their version of early access is a full release in most games cases. Like their team was really fucking good.
Yeah.
Because when they'd roll out new features based on community feedback monthly, and not just one feature, like a damn basket of features monthly, and they were damn good and polished. For an early access feature that was just released, I should say. It's not like a release game quality, because a lot of people have problems with how Arc ran, and I can completely agree with that. But from a development standpoint, their team was, I've never seen anything like it. I've never seen feature sets get implemented and executed so quickly and so well than the Wildcard team.
Okay.
But while he finds those dates, let's
All
go
right,
back
sorry,
to
I
the
got it.
action.
I got it.
Oh, you got it.
The Battle Royale mod for Arma 2/DayZ, developed by Brendan Green, known as his online alias PlayerUnknown, was first released in 2013.
Okay. Yeah, so they've got like a year or two on Arc. So
He
on
says
the
this
original
mod
one,
was directly inspired by the 2000 Japanese film Battle Royale, but
that's the movie I was talking
it is a
about.
year after the Hunger Games came out also.
But the books were long before that.
Yeah, that's true.
Maybe not the movie, but before the game. So, point being, a lot of stuff came before PUBG, and it wasn't a new thing. They just turned it into a much more accessible
Well,
multiplayer platform. So
let me plug this back into. I mean, the guy who created this mod in 2013 was called PlayerUnknown. The
cool.
game
Oh,
PUBG is PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. This is the same developer.
Like,
Right.
this is mine,
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I will name
this is
it.
my battleground. Step
Good on
off
him.
Fortnite.
I mean, that dude will go down in infamy now.
Yeah, but
Wow.
yeah, that's my thing. Is like he's been working on this since 2013. This is 5 years that's been his dream basically, and now
Well, he's
he's
definitely been paid
finally
for it.
generating revenue, and Epic is just like, I'm taking that revenue.
Yeah.
Boom!
And we're gonna do it better than you, and we're gonna make so much more money than you.
Mhm.
That's true. That is pretty fucked up.
It sucks,
I do-
man. I think obviously, like I said, big fan of Epic Games, big fan of Fortnite,
Mhm.
but God, I can't imagine being in that position. Like, wouldn't you try and just like approach a court in South Korea to, you know what I mean? Like,
So please stop
dude is
this.
crazy probably now.
And I can't disagree with that, but keep in mind, even with the lawsuit, I know they're trying to bring back some more of their revenue, or at least get some sort of compensation. And I don't wholeheartedly, I guess, disagree with you. You make a valid point concerning the fact that as a developer, you've worked really hard on this, and I may be a little staunch because I'm also riled up about a story that's coming up later in our podcast.
Mhm. Yeah, I can't wait for that.
But if you look at like the streams right now, PlayerUnknown is still the third most played game on all of the Twitch platform, which is the main base that tends to be used as a barometer. Like we've got 84,000, almost 85,000 viewers for PUBG right now, and I mean that's huge. The only thing that's usurping it right now is League of Legends at 93,000 and Fortnite at 230,000. But
So let me just say this too, is I feel like obviously if Fortnite did not have a battle royale mode, they wouldn't even be on that board.
no, they wouldn't. They
No, they
weren't.
wouldn't.
To
I
be
mean,
specific,
PUBG
they
would
already
be
tried that.
dominating by that much more. And
Yep.
I mean, I get that there's people who play Fortnite that would not play PUBG because they don't like the art style or it's not their kind of game or there's whatever number of reasons they wouldn't play it. But there's a lot of people, myself included, who came from PUBG and was like, "Wow, Fortnite's actually like better optimized and it's more playable, it's less of a bullshit game." And they switched over. Like they're like, "Okay, we're going to play Fortnite now because it's just better."
And
Right.
the other side of that community is the ones that stream and make money off of this, that do it competitively. Like the player base is there now, so you're gonna gravitate that way.
Yep.
So I get it. I don't disagree with them taking them to court. I sadly Epic is. Let's not even factor Epic in on this. Tencent is too big of a giant to let this fight, I believe, is more of a publicity thing to make both of them money. Because to be frank, Tencent owns them both now. Let's be
Hmm.
honest. Like it doesn't
Didn't
matter
even think
anymore.
about that.
Yeah, Tencent just bought them, I believe. I think
So
that
how
was
the
recent,
fuck?
wasn't it?
That might be something working in the background then, you know, as
That's some weird shit. Some deep state video game bullshit.
Yeah, because we've got. Yeah, I was looking to buy another 5%, and that was May 2nd. They
How
already
the
own
fuck does
them.
that work?
Tencent is the largest video game company on the planet, and no one
Yeah,
knows
but
who
how
they
do
are.
you? But how do you sue yourself without the judge going, "What the fuck are y'all doing?"
It doesn't matter because it's in China, and they also are one of the largest movie producers on the planet. Like, Tencent is gigantic. Like it dwarfs most conglomerates anywhere. Like it's insane. But let me
Hmm.
see. What is their revenue? The revenue for 2017 reported was 237 billion, and that was just their revenue. That's not counting operating costs, net income, total assets, just the equity in the company itself. Like it's disgusting.
Jeez. Yeah, that is pretty stupid.
But
What
they
the fuck?
produce good stuff. So the other part of this and why I don't necessarily hate them, I mean, they're obviously a business and they're gonna just do what they want, but
Do whatever the fuck they want. Yeah.
they tend not to, or at least they don't seem to screw with who they own. They let these people, they were successful before, they were purchased for a reason, and they allow those people to do their jobs well because they did them well previously.
Right.
Where Activision, on the other hand,
Yeah. They don't go
today and
fuck.
how EA fucked something up.
Yeah. They'll go fuck. They're like, let's fucking go.
So I don't know. And again, I'm probably talking out my ass a little bit here, but it's just kind of the feeling that I get from the minimal information that I've pulled from the situation. So I'd have to
Right.
do a deeper dive to be like, this is factual information about what's blah
Yeah.
blah blah. And I'm not going to do that. Let's be honest here. I'm going to go paint pretty pictures and substance matter. We'll on to the next video.
Right.
But
Okay.
so
All right. So.
another story here from a couple days ago. PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds PC developers promise big performance changes. Wow. I mean, like they took so long to announce this and it's not even done yet.
guys, I
I'm
promise.
We were just like, hey, cut them some slack, and then the next article was like, man, what the fuck are these
What
guys
the
doing?
no,
Man?
so I like I said, I'm all for supporting the indie developer, but I'll also call them out on their shit because
Right.
like Epic released a bunch of tools and shit to optimize PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, and in doing
Right.
so, I have a feeling like this is backdated a long time, and they're like testing out their stuff in Fortnite. They made these changes for Fortnite, and then they're like, all right, now we're gonna push these changes down in the engine for PlayerUnknown's to use them, and now it's like they still haven't moved over. They're still doing everything the same way. That's broken, and performance
Right.
is like one of the reasons people left. But still, I mean, yeah, just like I said, just because your game sucks doesn't mean people should be able to rip it off and make it better.
Right.
But
Oh man, that's funny.
this is something. I found this really funny because I saw the headline that said PUBG is going to finally fix performance issues, and I was like, well, yeah, man, I hope so. But it's like it's all talk.
That
It's
sounds like
like
a game to
there's no
me.
patch notes here. There's no
Yeah.
changes that they've fixed. It's like all quotes like, "We promise we will make things better." Sorry.
We
But
got you, fam. I swear
the
to God, I got
highlights,
you. I got you.
players have rightfully called us out for failing to address complaints about performance. Period. End
Oh my
quote.
God.
Like,
No.
cool. So,
Oh
sorry
man.
guys.
They're like,
It's
my bad, my bad, my
we're
bad, my bad, my bad, my
that's
bad.
we're
that's
working
some
on
rough
it.
shit right there. Like,
Yeah.
But may I say also, because I just, I'm playing for both teams at this point, but
Hmm.
the The thing is here, they still had bad performance in their game. It
Right.
was in early access.
EA.
They yeah, they did not fix performance. They added loot crates into the game, and they added another map into the game. And now they've
Before
added
all of the
a
performance.
third map into the game, more loot crates, still haven't fixed performance.
Yep.
The fuck,
Wow.
guys? Like, you know,
Tighten up, motherfuckers.
I
Like,
know
Tighten up,
revenue
tighten
is
up.
important, but like, maybe you'd make more money if your game was better.
Oh,
hey now,
man.
that's
Yeah.
that's asking a lot.
It is. Remember, they're a small indie
Maybe
company.
fewer
Blah,
people
blah,
would have left for Fortnite had they had they optimized their game instead of adding loot boxes.
Yeah, the amount of content that no one technically wanted or needed at the time.
Jesus.
I definitely bought some loot boxes though. Not gonna lie.
We're
I
all
hate myself.
like,
Yeah, we've
guilty of
done. Nah, bro, I've done worse,
I've
man.
I have paid cash shop mounts in a while. I've bought packs of cards in Hearthstone. Like I've given them money. Like
I
there's
was
no
like,
doubt.
maybe
Yeah.
if I support the developers, the game will get better. New map,
Yeah.
more loot crates. Fuck.
Yeah.
See, and that's the sad part. Like you want to,
But
and that's why I'm such a proponent of Ark. Is like their developers were amazing. Like they were fucking great. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
yeah,
I'm an Ark fanboy. I will
Yeah.
never not be.
You're fine, man. I used to play this game called Vindictus by a company called Nexon, I think. Nexon. Big mistake, man. I spent at least like $100 on that free ass game. So you
Yeah.
good.
But
I don't even want to
Well-
talk about the amount of money I spent on Rocket League.
oh yeah. Well, see, Rocket League is your baby. Like if to Rocket League for you is Ark to me. Like
I want to know. I want to know so bad.
How much money I spent on Rocket League?
Yes.
I don't think Alex knows.
I don't want to know either. Like,
Yeah.
I don't want to know. I don't want to tell you. I don't want
Like,
my wife to find out.
That's one of those things where you're like, I don't want to type /played in my World of Warcraft account
Oh
because
my
then I
God.
feel bad about my life.
I do
That's
it though.
so good.
You have to know.
No, I don't. I have denied that because I don't want to know. I guarantee you, it's well in the thousands.
Yeah.
Thousands of dollars?
Not dollars, hours of playtime.
Oh God.
God,
Like,
no,
bruh.
fuck me.
Like, bruh.
Oh, I don't have that kind of
Bruh.
disposable income. Fuck.
I mean, over
Back
the
when I
how
did
many
have that
years you've
disposable
played World of
income, I spent
Warcraft,
it on booze. Well, let's not talk about the monthly
subscription
subscriptions.
fees, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh god,
thousands.
thousands.
Thousands for sure.
Thousands.
Oh god, that's just okay. Moving on. Xbox 360 gets a system update for the first time in 2 years.
Why?
That's weird.
I don't own an Xbox, so I really don't have any comment on
I
this.
saw the notes
I know.
underneath it.
Yeah,
says,
I
"But
know.
Why?"
Oh
I
yeah.
didn't even notice that.
Why? But why?
Apparently they fixed the Ring of Death finally. They just figured that out.
Oh, they did.
I'm just
They
kidding.
just
I don't
figured-
know.
A whole nother generation, like a generation forward. Yeah, we got it.
Jesus.
Guys.
They're like, oh, that's
Cool.
weird. This checkbox was unchecked the whole time. Just
Oh,
make it
shit.
not crash.
That's-
Is it too late to send a patch out? Yeah. Do
Jesus.
it anyway.
Fuck it.
All right. So the next one is Wolf. What is this game?
Wolf
Sounds
Among Us
familiar.
2
Wolf Among
delayed.
Us.
I
Oh
never played
damn!
the first
Isn't?
one.
Yeah, neither have I. But I know it's like based on a comic book, like a Dark Horse comic book or some shit.
Yeah, and
And
it's
it's really
Telltale.
fucking.
They've got a
Yeah, it's really solid.
like narrative developers, so
I still haven't even played the Walking Dead one, and I've had so numerous attempts, chances to like buy the season 1 and 2 and just play throughout that because it seems so interesting. Like there's like the two main characters, and then like one of them die, and then he plays the second character. And
yeah.
it's fucking cool, man. Like
And those all got really good feedback. But I guess towards the end of last year, they laid off 90 employees, like
Holy shit!
25% of their workforce. So that's why I think a lot of these delays are coming down the pipe. But like I don't know much about the background of it. I think that was something Kapil may have played.
Right.
So yeah, Alex, did you ever play any of them?
Nah. I was just looking at it though. I was like, dude, what did they just steal the shaders from Borderlands?
Yeah,
You
pretty
know
much.
what? Didn't they do a Borderlands game?
Telltale
Telltale.
did,
I think
yeah.
they did like an add-on pack or expansion,
Hmm.
like a side story or something, or was it the third one? It was like their third, like it was a prequel, wasn't it?
I felt like it was oh, here we go. Tales from the Borderlands.
Yeah.
Um so it's not the same style. Like I mean it's the same art style, but like it's not Borderlands the game.
Hmm.
Oh.
Yeah. No. It's like Tales from Borderlands. Tales from the Borderlands.
Yeah, the Telltale games have like a very narrative driven get like I don't even honestly know what the gameplay is like. I just know it's
I've seen some, and it is narrative driven. It's narrative
yeah,
driven gameplay. Like what do they call it? Action sequences, like button
quick
when you got to
time
press the
events.
right button. Quick time event. Quick
Yeah.
time, uh, narrative driven game.
Okay. Yeah, but
That's kind of what
it's
it
not
is.
like a first person like Borderlands is, or is it?
No, not at all. It's like
Okay.
just like story based.
Yeah, okay.
I know I played like
That's what I knew
a
in
little bit. Yeah,
Telltale. It was just like story. It's interactive stories basically.
interactive. There we go. Interactive. Yeah, it's like that.
Yeah.
I'll play some of them one day.
Yeah, I won't. So I'm a
Free for a
horrible
month,
barometer
maybe.
for a gaming
Hopefully.
podcast.
Nah.
Especially with the shade I'm about to throw.
I
Throw
know,
that
right?
shade, fam. Throw that shade.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. I am a spaceship game fan, and as I have ranted before, Star Citizen pisses me off. That drunken motherfucker that has taken away a bunch of my childhood dreams as an adult because he was the guy from Freelancer, Wing Commander, and all this shit, and he has made promises out of his asshole. So to date,
Gross.
Star Citizen, yeah, no, gross, right? One of the last updates, they're like, we can make procedural cities now. When did we go to SIGGRAPH, Alex? It was 2012, no, 2014 or something. I don't know. Houdini was doing procedural cities in levels like this. Like, screw you guys. That is not a new thing. You need to stop it right now. Like, fuck, that just pissed me off. Moving on. These motherfuckers to date have breached $200 million in donations for development.
Jesus.
How much did Destiny cost? I think it's the only other game that's usurped their cost line. Maybe one of the Star Wars games.
I think it was a couple $1 million.
Yeah,
They went
it's like
pretty big. It was so big that when Destiny 2 came out, they really took a big like they changed a lot of what they did. I know that Destiny 2 is very different from Destiny 1 in the fact that they hired less well-known actors to do their lines. Since they had to be more dialogue driven and tried to change the way they written dialogue. But yeah, they tried to do a lot less and thank God they did because Destiny 2 is not doing well at
yeah.
all. Anyway, as you were saying,
Point
Hold on,
being,
sorry,
yep.
I missed something here.
what's up?
So the way Kickstarter works is you have a date that you have to fundraise by, right?
Yep.
How are they
Mm-hmm.
continuing to crowdfund this game?
So after Kickstarter ended, because they originally asked $2 million and they easily got it. I think it was like 6 or 8 million or some shit like that.
Yeah, I think
Their
they went over their
website,
goal, right?
yeah, and then they went to like one of the other crowdfunders for more money. It was like Rocket Ship or some shit like that. Then on their main site, you can donate money. You can just give them money to do this, and they just keep taking donations. And then
What?
you factor
Mm-hmm.
in the cost of their pay shop and their store, which is part of my problem. To like just fly some of these ships, you're spending $500 to just purchase a spaceship to fly in this game, and it's not even the
Right.
best one. So
Oh my
they
God,
have. Hmm.
they're
What's up?
laundering money. They're laundering money.
I mean,
That's
might
what it
as
is.
well
They're
be,
laundering
yeah.
money.
Motherfucker, yeah, that
They're-
doesn't
They're
would
laundering
not
money.
surprise me. Like,
Yo, FBI, they're laundering money. I called it.
Hey,
You heard
FBI.
it here first.
yeah,
Yeah.
drunk ass is prank calling the FBI. It's not like the FBI is gonna do anything anyways.
Ah,
Let's
shit.
be
Did I
real
just
here.
like swat them? I don't
Yeah.
I don't
call-
condone this behavior,
Bro,
guys.
bro,
Please
I
don't
hope
start
you
this
did,
witch
man,
hunt.
because that's badass if you did. Like, if you call it and they actually are laundering money, that'd be some awesome shit.
Oh,
God,
and
the
people are right now in lawsuits with these motherfuckers because they want.
Oh
their
wait, they're
money
suing
back.
them?
They want
No,
their money back, right?
individual people want their money back. Some dude has given them like 20 grand, and he's only gotten like 15 of it back because they're not delivering on their time dated promises. They're failing miserably. So, and this shit was announced the same time Elite Dangerous and No Man's Sky was, or roughly the same period. All three of them were like, these are spaceship games. Look how cool they are. And
Right.
I called it back then. Elite Dangerous is going to release, and they're going to develop, and they're going to grow, and they're going to kick fucking ass. And Frontier is killing it right now. They've done doing Jurassic Park. They've got like Planet Coaster, all this fun stuff. And Elite Dangerous still gets a ton of development. It's great. These motherfuckers have $200 million in revenue. Okay,
And they
200
haven't done
million.
shit.
They haven't done dog shit with it. And the reason I'm so pissed is right now, if you go to their fucking Cash App, which by the way, you can't even buy this package unless you have already spent $1,000 with them. Let's clarify.
What?
Now, you can't see this package unless you've spent $1,000. All right. You can buy all of their ships and have your own little space fleet. Okay. For the price of a car, $27,000. You gluttonous fuckers. I
Bro,
am
wait a
all
minute.
for.
Well, wait a minute.
But
There's no
spaceships
way
are
this
faster
is
than
legal.
cars.
It's all of their products wrapped up into one package is that much money. Like you as I am all for developers making money. That's how you progress, continue, and make more good products. Blizzard does it, League does it, Dota does it. Loot crates, I'm not a huge fan of them. I get them. Whatever, let it ride. Cool. The fact that this is an option is egregious. It's incredible. It's like,
Sorry,
what the
honey.
fuck?
I know we can't buy that house. I bought the Legatus pack.
It's a down payment. It's more than a down payment. A down payment for a house, what, 10 grand generally? 20 grand? This is nearly $30,000. This is a goddamn sedan
Oh my god.
for spaceships in a fucking video game. I'm
This
sorry.
is insane. Nah, you don't need to be, bro.
I can
It's
never.
ridiculous.
I loved Freelancer. I loved Escape Velocity. I never got to play Wing Commander. I never played the old Elite Dangerous. I didn't grow up in like a video game family. I lived in the woods and hunters and ranchers and all that bullshit. But like I didn't get to experience a lot of it. But I love the spacefaring genre, the Sims, the X games, the Elite Dangerouses, the Evorions. Like I love that shit. But I will never give this motherfucker a one red cent.
Right.
I cannot. And it is like the dream game too. And that's what hurts and makes it so hard for me to do because it has everything I wanted. And it's got so much bloat in it too. Like he wants to make this spaceship first person shooter, simulator, planet, city build, blah, blah, blah. Vomit shit out of your mouth, idiot. Like, stop scope creeping your own fucking people that are giving you cash and just develop. You had amazing ships, amazing destruction models, great space combat. Get your planets and your cities and your quest stuff just fucking sorted, and then publish the game and let people judge it.
Right.
Now people are just pouring money into it because they want what they see, but what they see is fake. None of it's real. None of it's populated. None of it's built. It just looks kind of pretty and has a great thought behind it. But
So,
I'm done. I can't
Josh,
keep going.
Nah.
did you not back the original Kickstarter for it?
I did not.
Okay.
I could not because of the initial like proposition he gave out, and I waited. I sat on it for a while. I'm like, this looks cool. I really want to get in on it, but that was right after I got burned by my 3D printer on Kickstarter.
Okay.
Right.
So I didn't.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
stopped doing Kickstarter after what the fuck? There was a game I was playing. I wanted to make. The guy who does the art for Final Fantasy 14.
Hmm.
He's like my Akihito Yoshida, I think his name is.
Okay.
Guy who did the art for Tactics, pretty much.
Oh,
For
okay.
Final
Yeah.
Fantasy Tactics, right? Love that guy. He
Yeah,
worked on the
that's awesome.
concept art for this game that was a turn-based game, kind of like Banner Saga, where it's like a tactics game where you don't have your own squad, but you're controlling historical battles in a fantasy world. And
Okay.
they have a class system like tactics, like it's supposed to be tactics.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be tactics. And they made it. I bought the game. I put $80 in the Kickstarter and I think when I first met you guys, which was like 2010,
Hmm.
and I have been getting updates since 2018. Um, I haven't, bro. Bro. It's been years, right? They were
Yeah.
putting updates. They were fucking up. They were trying to change their game. They were trying. Oh, you know what? Let's take this out. Let's put this in. Let's take this out. Let's put this in. 2017 rolls around. They get bought out by another company because they weren't doing so well, and this other company says, let's just take over this project and then we'll make the game. So they do that, and then they say, guess what, guys? So good news is we're buying this. We're back at full speed. People who left, we're now doing this again. We're in on this shit. Nothing's gonna go down. We're in this. No matter what. Bad news is we're gonna start this game from scratch, and I'm just like,
Ugh.
And we need more
holy
money.
shit, bro! I don't even remember what my rewards are supposed to be. The 80 times.
You
I don't even know.
like walk away at that point. Like I'm
I-
done.
I don't even live at the place where I bought the game. So if they send it to me, I don't think it's going. I think it's gonna go to the wrong place. Like
It's odd.
Yeah.
Kickstarter is such a bad idea sometimes.
Like I've had some good experiences in Kickstarter. Like Everspace and Battle Chasers. I backed both of those projects. Totally worth it. Great developers. They did a fantastic job. I got my products. Like they did the backer rewards were cool. They weren't super great, but I also didn't spend an arm and a leg. Like this was like 10, $20. Okay, cool.
Right.
But at that time, like the fucking Star Citizen stuff, I don't even know what the rewards were. I didn't even look at it because I was so
yeah. You were like, yeah, fucking let's
Yeah,
go!
exclusive access to their shop where you can spend $27,000 on an entire
Yeah.
fleet.
it just
Man.
kills me. So, all right, ladies and gentlemen, go buy Star Citizen. It's a great game. Probably not gonna regret it. I swear.
Oh, did they cut you
Oh my
in?
God.
Yeah, God, I wish.
Yeah. God, this
I
guy's
want to pay
probably
my
on an
car
island
off. I'll
somewhere.
totally pander. Fuck.
Right. These guys are on their own island right now.
Oh, that's exactly what it is. Nobody's heard from him, so nobody knows what's going on because he's sipping Mai Tais, and I could go way dirtier with this analogy, but I'm not gonna.
Jesus. Yeah, he is just, and then like the people who are like looking forward to this game are still like,
And there are staunch fanboys that are like, nah, he's doing it.
Like,
Man. This is great.
I don't give a
And
fuck.
then, yeah, and then there's the other side. It's just like our world today, that it's this polarizing division where it's like you're on or you're off. Either way, it doesn't matter. It's
Yeah, like it
crazy.
doesn't matter. Yeah.
Like,
Good Lord, man, that's ridiculous.
because
Mm-mm.
yeah, and they're like that. It's all over Reddit. Like they're the people post forums. They're fuck it.
I'm looking at them on Twitter right now. I'm looking at it like I'm looking at people just going like, "Oh, that's a lot of money." I mean, fuck it. I wasn't gonna go to college anyway. I mean, it's just room and board.
It's
That's
fucking
ridiculous.
hurts my heart. So,
That's ridiculous.
welcome to Star Citizen, ladies and gentlemen. My rant
Yeah.
is over.
Like, I mean, it's a good concept, but holy shit, the amount of money, the shit they're doing, this is piracy.
And you've got developers that have if you search Star Citizen character artist on Reddit AMAs, one of their lead character artists, they're like, he left because he literally said, "This is insane. You are all nuts. I am out." He did a huge AMA about it.
Oh, perfect. I gotta find that. You gotta send me that.
I'll dig it up right now.
This is awesome. I mean, I've seen, you showed me Star Citizen in college a long time ago, and I was like, oh, that shit looks dope. Like you and Tobias showed me Star Citizen,
Mhm.
and I was like, oh, I'm all about this shit. And then I was like, yo, is that game coming out yet? And you both looked at me, you're like, bruh, that's just never coming
No.
out. Like, oh, no, sir, that's not a game. We were showing you our dream. Like we were showing you something that we'd like to happen. We weren't showing you something that's gonna happen. There's a difference. Shit
Yep.
was
Yeah. This is a thought. This is also how we clean. This is also how we clean money.
Yeah, this is how you clean money. Oh my god. Yeah. Yeah, that's ugly, bro. That's really ugly. God. I'm glad I'm getting to that age where I'm slowly not giving a shit about playing games anymore because that would have this would kill me. Jesus. Like all it took was Andromeda to fucking ruin my my desire to keep giving into this shit. I bought a $90 Mass Effect Andromeda pack and regretted it. I was like, yeah, this is it. This is the last game I ever dive right into with no thought. All right, well, what's next?
Why this? Allegedly from David. I'm digging up the email right now. Here's one of the quotes. David Jensen. He's a character artist. Based on the quality bar that has been set for this project, a Star Citizen character takes me anywhere from 3 to 6 weeks to get in game. I have been working at CIG for 17 months. In that time, I have completed exactly 5 characters, and that's 24 weeks at most.
Whoa. Oh my god. Oh, Unsung Heroes. That's the game.
Oh,
Unsung Heroes. Have you heard about it?
I've heard the name. Yes, it's come up.
Yeah. That's the one. That's the one I spent $80 on. Jesus, yeah, send me that, bro. All right, so what's next on the docket?
I think we're at the what we've been playing stage, right?
Yeah. All right, so what y'all been playing?
All right.
Mr. Roberts.
What do I even play anymore?
Yeah.
What is even my life?
We've been playing Game Development Simulator.
So let's see.
You
Hang on.
watch Smash streams, right?
So, yeah. So I've been, obviously working on the Game Jam thing quite a bit. Did some play testing for that, so that's kind of playing a game.
Sick.
I played Rocket League one night last week for like an hour and a half. And then I got very upset because the Rocket League community is absolute shit, and I don't know why I subject myself to that every once in a while. But it's good.
Just rub the salt all over this wound.
It's good.
Wait, why is the Rocket League community shit? I mean, it's a car soccer game.
Yeah, it sounds great,
How is
right?
it?
Yeah. So
how is
I
that
actually I don't play casual anymore because the matches
You're
are
too bad
never
at?
any they're not even. The problem with casual matchmaking is people don't take it seriously and they fuck around. It's not fun, and then
Oh, they
as
don't
soon
play
as
at
you
all.
start
They just
losing
destroy the matches.
as soon as you start losing by like 1 point or like 2 points, people would just leave, and then the game will end. And there's people don't care. There's like no penalty for leaving
There's no
casual
incentive.
games. And so yeah, I only play ranked, because it number one matches you up against people that's your same skill level, and number two like incentivizes people to stay, or rather punishes them if they leave. Um, so that's why I play ranked only. But
Goddamn.
yeah. So anyways, when you're playing ranked at like a high enough level, people really get upset with you if you like miss a couple shots, or
Really?
if you
Just a couple
don't do the right thing. Because I mean, at a certain level, people are like expect you to play a certain way, and obviously if you're at a certain skill level, you're probably a great player anyways, but like if you're not compatible with the people you're playing with, like on your team, then it's like
Right.
they'll get mad. They're like, dude, just pass the ball. What are you doing, or whatever,
So keep in mind, folks, plays a lot of Rocket League. That's like his game, and he's very, very damn good at it. kick my ass all over the map. So like when you get into say a League of Legends game, for anybody who's played that, and you play a ranked game with some pleb who doesn't know his elbow from his asshole, that's the people Alex is talking about. And Alex is one of the people that has knows these tactics, knows these gameplays, how to handle a ball properly and move it across the map. So like I would never play in his bracket if I was to go right now and play. Like I would be one of those idiots who's like, hey, here's a ball
I
flying
don't
through
know.
the sky,
Wait.
and yeah.
So I have to drive into the ball to get into the hoop? What the fuck?
Yeah,
That's hard.
I'd be one of those plebs where Alex is the guy that knows the strategies, the process, the techniques. So
Okay.
I mean, there's, to be fair, a lot of the people at my level do also. I'd say Rocket League is very good at matchmaking. But they now just have recently started punishing people when you report them. So that's really cool,
falsely.
and I gotta give it to Rocket League for that. So like you can report somebody for being unsportsmanlike or for harassment or whatever,
Badass.
But for the first, I would say 2 years ish that I played Rocket League, I don't know how long it's been out. It feels like 2 years.
Feels like more than
Until maybe a few months ago, reporting was basically like a joke. Like nothing would happen anyways, so people would just like not care. But now, yeah, like you'll get chat silenced, like so you can't type, and then eventually you'll get like even quick chat silenced, so you can't even be like nice shot. It's just like no, you have that privilege revoked.
You fucked up.
Yeah.
Damn, that's so bad.
Yeah, I mean the thing is with Rocket League, like people might be great at the game, but like I said, maybe they're not compatible with you. Like I like to pass the ball a lot. I'll Gretzky people, like I'll set up these sweet shots for them to hit it in, and sometimes they just want me to like completely overextend and be like in there with them and overcommit and stuff, and they're like, dude, how come you didn't get my pass? I'm like, I was defending because you missed, like
Yeah.
So
well, I was going to, but
it's one of those things like, and like I don't like talking a lot of shit either, and I feel like I get upset because like people start blaming you for losing the game for them or whatever, and it's just
and
like
it's a goddamn game.
yeah, dude,
right.
like whatever,
Yeah.
And
it's a fucking game where you play as a car.
It's fucking high stakes. We're playing ranked.
Yeah.
Like
you got
relax,
a
dude.
Batmobile. You have access to a Batmobile now, I'm sure,
It's
and
like,
you can like shoot that into the hoop, and you're gonna look me in the eye in this colorful world and tell me that I'm trash.
Yeah.
Like, it just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Like, bro, you're playing Rocket League.
As he's doing that, he honks his clown nose like.
But I find it funny they just released a new patch for Rocket League like this week that I haven't logged into yet because I'm just reminding myself now that I want to check it out. But it's called Salty Shores. And I think it's so fitting for the community, but it's like they have like a beach map and stuff.
That's so good.
Yeah.
That's so good.
Yeah, they called it Salty Shores. It's just like
so good.
They know their audience, man.
They know what they're doing.
Yeah.
It's time.
So short answer, I played a little bit of Rocket League.
I played a little Rocket League. Ah, shit.
Sorry for that rant.
No, it was a good rant.
Yeah, I had mine. Rant. You gotta have yours.
Yeah.
Side note, by the way, I found the article, and it's on. There's a Reddit version for the Star Citizen like character artist leaving. There's also the main one. It's sourced from, which is from Smart, like Derek Smart. It's called Smart Speak. Smart Speak. The title of it is Star Citizen - The Long Con.
Oh. Ooh.
Cold-blooded.
Cold-blooded.
I mean, at least Duke Nukem Never Ever, Duke Nukem Forever.
I forgot about Duke Nukem Forever. You know, one of the funniest things about that game coming out, Dan Barry's disappointment. I remember Dan. I remember Dan shitting on every fucking game I play.
Oh God.
And like he just come through, grab a blue moon, and he'd sit down on my couch and be like, "Still playing Mass Effect, buddy?" And I'm like, "Bro, like I like this game." And then Duke Nukem, he's like, "Bro, when Duke Nukem comes out, then I'll play a game. I'll play that one game forever." And then that shit came out. I don't even think I got to see him play it. I remember seeing him next week, and he's just so disheartened. He's like, "Yeah, it's not really good."
God, see,
I never
that's
laughed so
great.
hard. I felt so bad, but I was like, "Yeah, bro, stop shitting on my game."
And
So first off, I'm gonna have to make fun of his. I would have made fun of his ass. Like, you were putting your faith in a Duke Nukem game. A mechanic is pissing in a urinal. That's like saying the old game Postal was something that's friendly for children.
You know, in his defense, though, like I don't see Dan as big as a gamer
That's
as
true.
I am. So like I can see, like I remember he was talking to me about he was like, you know, Nintendo's going out of business, and I was like, oh, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. I was like, but I'm not gonna be that guy that's gonna be like, oh no, like so I get like because he's a huge Halo fan, and Halo is a big thing to him, like you know what I mean, like it's not like a big he's not like that big on it, so like I don't blame him. It's just like that's what I think when I think Duke Nukem, I think Dan. like I just remembered him. I was like, oh, that's great. Yeah, I
Duke
remember
Nukem Forever holds a Guinness World Record. I looked it up for having the longest development period for any video game. The record currently
way.
stands at 14 years and 44 days, starting from when the game was announced to when it was released. That's not when it started. That's from when it was announced.
God. So wait. So
That's funny.
no way. So Duke Nukem took longer to be made than Final Fantasy or Kingdom Hearts?
It took longer
God,
than
that's
even
awesome.
Star Citizen, man.
Oh my
I'm going to
God.
be dead before that becomes released.
All right, we'll see.
Yeah,
We'll
yeah.
see. Maybe Star Citizen is going for the title.
Star Citizen might take it. Star Citizen might take
They're
it.
going for the title here.
They're
Why
going for
stop?
the don't
Be
forget it.
honest here. Just from the last rant, okay? The last rant I had, which was this podcast have we been up for like a year now, something like that?
Yeah. Yeah.
So let's pretend I had ranted on this the first episode, okay? That they were at like 172 million. 1 year they broke 200 million from people giving them money. You're literally sitting in your office beating off, and people are giving you
Live stream of my dick.
Why stop?
Log in. Ask me anything. It's 4 inches. Right? That's the first question answered. Oh my God, that's ridiculous.
Sorry,
No.
I just derailed.
Oh.
it. I'm super.
So what are you
salty.
playing, Josh? What are you playing, Josh? You have a right to be. Fuck. I'm getting salty, and I don't even follow it like that.
It's just salty by association.
Yeah.
So I've been with Alex working on this game jam, becoming a real artist again. I don't know if I
Congratulations.
stated this in our last podcast, but I haven't been a real artist in like 3 years, and now I'm having to do actual game art, and it's very, very eye-opening. I haven't really done it in a real like a professional. Professional's the wrong word. In a way that I care about it. Like
Right.
I have value, and I desire this to be a good thing. I have not done that in 3 years. So I've been learning how to walk again, if you will. In fact, right now I have like 4 different forums open on doing cartoon-based painting in Substance Painter. And I'm looking at panels for grass and how to do planar stuff and hand painted. It's like, this is what I've been doing. If I played a little bit, it was I started my Arc server back up again. Because we just kind of had a hankering, me and Nicole, for some cathartic playing. And I was also in the hospital over the weekend, so
Oh,
there was
Jesus.
that.
Okay.
So I really haven't done a hell of a lot, but yeah, that's about it.
And Josh got a Switch, but I think we announced that last week, maybe.
Yeah, we
I got a
did.
Switch. I haven't been going hard
Congratulations.
on it.
No.
I do bring it where I can, and I play it a little bit, but I've been playing. Actually, this goes to you, Control, as well.
Yeah.
Wizard of Legends is just the shit.
Wow. Yeah.
Like,
Game is legit,
and
bro.
honestly, it's not because I played a lot. I've maybe put an hour or two into it tops. The point is, like, I can set that down and go be a real individual. And then if I'm going to the head or if I'm just going to sleep, I can play a couple matches and then just turn it off.
Now
It's a
every
quick,
game is his
awesome.
toilet game.
Now every game is the toilet game.
Bro, and Wizard of Legend, like, I mean, it'll definitely make you shit your pants
Oh, yeah,
in rage, in anger.
It is
like, holy
nasty.
fuck.
It is mean to you. There is no window for like, oh,
For
you're
error.
starting the new game? That's cute.
It's like, every fucking, oh my god. So, like, what do you prefer? Like, what element do you prefer?
So I haven't gotten enough. I was digging on some electrical until I got one of the crit swords. So I've been doing a lot of the melee stuff, like the multiple melee.
Okay.
And then
Right,
I'll finish
okay.
off with fire right now. I want to get into earth stuff, but all the earth spells that I've come across that I've gotten suck.
Bro, okay, so I'm an earth and wind dude. Sometimes fire. Bro, all earth. I don't know.
You remember?
I don't know why I use earth. Yeah, like it's fucking trash, man. Like, it's so situational. Like, most of the moves are so situational. Like, I try to do some crazy shit to, like, be an earthbender, like, kind of thing. Like, I have this move that it's kind of like you make rock chess pieces that form a wall, and then you have this other move called knockout rock, and it's you chuck it and it's guaranteed stun. And I just love doing that thing where you put up a wall and then you're chucking rocks like left and right, at certain enemies, and then you use the knockout rock. Like, it feels like a real earthbender thing until the guys run around that shit and just proceed to use my own chess pieces as a wall to just shank me to death.
Yeah, and you just get caught in this loop of oh god, oh god, oh god,
oh god, oh god, oh god, and then you die, and the game's like, like, it's just like, oh man, that was good. You know what, man? In context, that would have been a good idea. Like, on paper, that was a good idea. It just wasn't.
Practice.
Try again.
You're literally shitting your own shoe. Like,
yeah. So for the audience that doesn't know, Wizard of Legend is a spell slinging roguelike dungeon crawler. You fight 3 council members of 3 different elements, and then you fight against their almighty council master and all that stuff. So you go through 2 levels each before you fight every boss. You can use elements of any element and all that stuff, and the enemies are pretty difficult. As you go through the dungeon, you can buy items or take on free but cursed items as you proceed through this procedurally generated dungeon to get to the end of the game. But if you die, you lose all your shit. You can buy new spells. You can collect money as you go through these dungeons to buy new spells that you can take permanently with you. Spells, items that boost certain abilities, or like situational stuff, you can all buy permanently. But when you go in there, anything that you pick up, like a new spell or something like that you pick up, you lose at the end of it if you die. So it's kind of like you get new spells, you use them, see how they work, you die, you find out it doesn't work, you try different things, you try different combos, and then you play through the game. So it's really fun. It's also co-op. And you can go against
each other. Which I hear is kind of where it's at, like doing that.
I'm kind of mixed on it. Because me and my girlfriend, we play it a lot. We play it like kind of religiously, to be honest. And you can't change controllers. So you gotta use the Joy-Cons sideways, and you can't change it. So, like, you know how you played it. So you know how you use like L and R to use your spells, right?
That would suck.
Right. So you use L and R to change your spells or to use your spells. This shit, bro. This shit makes you turn that shit sideways. So, like, it now turns into, for like the left Joy-Con, it turns into ZL and L. And bro, I don't know who thought it was a good idea that I'd be able to press that fucking button in the middle of a goddamn swarm of like knife-wielding rogues that can go invisible in a moment's notice and shake me in my back. It gets really hard, and you can get used to it, but no one needs to get used to that shit. Like, this is a controller for ants.
Can you do like 2 what are the really good
Pro
controllers?
controllers.
Yeah, can you do like 2
No,
controllers?
I have a pro controller. I can play the game with a pro controller, but I can't
Co-op
play
with it.
multiplayer with the
Oh,
pro.
that's
What the
fucking
That
fuck?
cruel.
sucks. That sucks.
How?
I mean,
Like
it's
my ass is puckering just thinking about that. I'm just when you
so,
said that, it just slammed shut.
bro. So like this game, it's great, and it's been made by two dudes. So I
God
get
damn.
it. I get it.
Props to those
But
developers. Jesus.
right? I get it, but I really hope they add some feature. Also, there's a bug in the game that you should know about, Josh. There's this really awesome item called the jewelry box. Any gem you pick up heals you.
Ooh.
Adds to your health. Right, really nice. But if you're playing co-op and you happen to die, unless your friend picks you up before you go to the next area, you'll be dead but not as a ghost, and the only way they can bring you back is by buying a potion.
Oh, that's weird.
Otherwise, you won't be able to float around and pick up because they can if you're playing co-op and somebody dies, you can heal your friend by killing enemies, and the enemies will drop like green health pieces, and if your friend picks up enough, they can revive themselves. But if you have the jewelry box, you die, and then you go to the next level, they have to kill everything to do that. Thankfully for me, Sophia is like a really nasty at this game, bro. Like I cannot I can't beat her, bro. I really can't. Like so, like every time you fight a councilman, remember at the end of the game, right? Yep. You guys go one-on-one. It's like, oh, like, but they can only be one, and then you guys go one-on-one with each other. I can't touch her most of the time. I can't beat her. No. And after every council member. Oh yeah, I bet it would crush you when you fought.
I've never fought a council member.
All the way to that council member, and then you don't even know what his moves were because he just murdered you in seconds.
I have never fought a council member. I am trash.
It'll make you, bro. It'll make you feel like trash, but you will get better, man. I promise you.
I mean,
because when I first played, and I found out I got all these items, I got all these upgrades, and then I lost against the council member in like 7 seconds. Yeah, like 7 seconds.
Squish.
Right, and then I come back, and the game showed me that I had all my shit back, and I didn't have saved any of the items I just picked up. I really just put my head in my hands, and I just kind of stared at the screen. I was like, no. Did I buy the wrong fucking game? Like, did I really do I really think I'm gonna play this? Yeah. That was real. You will, bro. It's so like
I'm sure I'll get there. I mean, you're the one that got me you and Kapil got me down that Monster Hunter train, and I learned. Like that was rough, but I learned. I'm sure. I know this is a roguelike, but there is nothing that can prepare that even will pale in comparison to that like beginning. Like I walk in and I'm moving like molasses, and suddenly just Toby Kadashi comes in and just pushes my shit in, and I'm like, well,
yeah. Like, by the way, I do backflips while with thunder around me, and hope you like it.
I've been fighting a fat iguana this whole time, and fucking Toby shows up and pushes my shit in.
He's like, "What's up?
You thought you were good? Come suck some lightning, bitch."
Guess what? Now there can be more than one monster in one battle.
Yeah. I fought a giant salamander and an iguana that has a thyroid problem. Like it's my eyes were open.
Man.
Let's not even get started on the goddamn lightning unicorn. That's a whole other.
Oh yeah, I'm so glad I'm done with that bullshit. For real.
I'm going back tonight. My brother bought it.
Well, I'm playing with you.
All right,
so I'll jump in with
this.
you. Any other games that you play? Because I have one game that I've been playing and I really enjoy it.
Go for it.
Oh really? Okay.
Yeah, I got nothing.
Have you guys heard of Night in the Woods?
I have not.
Really interesting game. It's like a narrative platforming game. And it's like about this person. I mean, they're all animals, but it's this person named May Borowski who comes back home from college, back to her old hometown to try to because college was too much, and it's kind of like she expects everything to be normal, but it's not. And it's like really interesting because at first it's like, oh, this is just a back in town thing, like, college dropout, feeling kind of, lame for doing so, but there's like an underlying reason why, and it's like goes into mental illness and all that stuff. And man, the writing for that game, the dialogue in the game is really good. Like I found myself screenshotting a lot of the things that they've said in the game because it was interesting. Like it just feels okay. So most TV shows you watch and like a character says something really shitty to another character, and then they're like, all right, well, fuck you, and then they never see each other again. Like they're like, all right, well, that, I broke that, I burned that bridge, that's it. Like it feels like in this game, most of the bridges are burned, and they're trying to
rebuild.
No, not just trying to rebuild, but they don't realize it's burned. Like there's like it's really fascinating the way they talk to each other. Like she has I'm not even gonna get into it. It's really it's a really good game, and I beat it recently, and it was I'm playing it again. Like a good example. This was a good example, and without going too deep into it, she has a therapist called Mr. Hank, and Mr. Hank recommended that she use a journal to just to express herself, or like to help herself with her whatever stressful things she's going through, and but the things she draws on the journals represent the things you did in the game. So if you miss a couple pages, it's you happen to have missed an event. Like because it's a platformer, so like you're kind of walking around town, and if you didn't realize that you can actually walk along the street poles, like you can walk along the top of the street wires, you can balance yourself on the street wires to get to higher areas to talk to other people or do other things or find other things or interact with other things. Then you find out that because you don't have a page, you have a page missing because she didn't experience it. So you're like filling in these events on your page, and she has really hilarious ways of like doing that. Like she has a friend called Greg who's like got a pocket knife, and he works at this like Walmart, and he decides to leave whenever, and likes to play swing baseball bats at lightning bulbs. So like he'll go to the back of the store and toss lightning bulbs, and you'll play a little mini game where you're breaking them with a baseball bat. And if you never, and then she, after that event, she writes in her notebook that like, oh, Greg hasn't changed, and then she, it's Greg in the drawing. It's a drawing of Greg, with a pocket knife that he has, and it's Greg rules, okay, like just like silly things. And the dialogue can be a little bit teeny, I guess, but it doesn't feel like teens now, if that makes any sense.
I mean,
like people go like, oh, that's so me, or like that's me, or like like something like that. They don't say that shit, but they do say like hella, or like I don't know. It's weird. It's like Life is Strange, I guess.
You can have that narrative as long as it like the whole point is it's supposed to get a feeling across. So I can understand that. I can accept that.
Yeah, bro, it feels genuine, man, and it's only $20, and I was playing that on the plane. It's so good. Like, it's such a good game because it's like kind of you think it's kind of realistic, but it's not because they're all animals. They're people, they're people, but they're also animals. The dialogue is silly. There's things that are happening, and there's mental illness involved, but then it also goes a little bit into supernatural. And it's just good, man. I when I played it, I mean, it got an award. I think it got a big award for like, and like, I think IGN gave it a 9. Everything gave it a 9. GameSpot gave it a 9 out of 10. Like everybody's said, like this game is fucking dope, and it is. Like it's a really good game. That's what I've been playing. That and Wizard of Legend.
Yeah, no, that sounds sweet. Like good narrative games like that are kind of refreshing for folks sometimes, I think. And I wish I could appreciate games like that personally. I have a very hard time playing like even stuff like Horizon Zero Dawn. Like I just have a very hard time playing
games you gotta fucking read, right? Like Zelda, like I love Zelda, and then you start games like you gotta read do you know how to swing your sword? And you're like, I forgot that this is a thing. I don't know. I don't think I want to do this. Yeah, there are moments where in Night in the Woods where I'm like, I gotta read for this. Yeah, I'll pass for now. Yeah, like I'll take a break or some shit. Yeah, I there are moments where I agree. I can't really deal with that kind of thing.
Yeah, and that's just my gaming proclivities is coming out. I think is what I don't know why. It's morphed into fuck it. I'm gonna go make a thing in Arc. And I'm gonna
Yeah,
play
like oh, like so. There's actually I just remembered. There's like a line where there's this moment where these characters kind of have like a confrontation. Like May and her friends have a confrontation with some figure that they don't understand, and they think something is going to go down. And so the guy Greg, the guy with his pocket knife, is kind of a criminal, to be honest. Has a crossbow and he just fires it without questioning at the guy.
what?
Right. And the guy gets hit. And he's like, ah, and because the dude who's standing there isn't answering, and he's like this cloaked figure that's kind of like trying, like he's gonna do something. And when you think something bad's gonna happen, he comes in with a crossbow and shoots the guy, and the guy's like, oh, and the one of her May's other friends, Beatrice, was like, oh, so you can talk, and she goes, well, then I need some answers, or I will, and the guy's like, oh, Jesus Christ, and she goes, and like she's hyped up, so she goes, I will personally disassemble you, and like Greg, who just fired the crossbow, was like, Jesus, B, like chill out. Like, I'm the one that shot him, and you're the one threatening his life. And it's just like that kind of dialogue that was really like, bro, it's good, man. I'm loving this. I love this game. Like I've screenshotted so many events that happened. It's so good. It's so good.
Nice.
Hell yeah. Anything else, Alex? Anything you played, or just the Rocket League?
Man, I'm like I said, I've been jamming. I've been on this game jam. This is my life now.
This is my life now. That sounds like a game.
Yeah, I got. Yeah, I'll have to. We'll have to do a let's play on the podcast when we
Yeah, I
when
want
we
to.
get
I'm
it
down with that.
done.
Yeah, that'd be cool. We should do. Yeah, definitely do. Let's play the game we're working on.
It's gonna be cool. But
There
yeah,
will be
it's a lot of
lots
work.
profanity.
I'm doing a lot of stuff I haven't done in a long time, or have never done in some cases, and it's
It
definitely a
must be
very
really refreshing.
challenging experience for me. Yeah, it's good, it's exhausting, and it's very rewarding.
Yeah, it sounds like making a game. So I guess you guys are doing the right thing. Shit.
Yeah. Yeah,
I
but like
remember when
it's little
Have
things
you ever
like
had that class where you
What's
had to
that?
make a game in Full Sail?
yeah.
Did you guys also have that class? You were in Game Art, right? Oh, you were in CA.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's
So for the podcasters, there's 2 tracks in Full Sail. There's game art and there's computer animation.
Yeah.
Or there
yeah.
were
When
tracks we went.
we made a side-scrolling. I made a side-scrolling dungeon beat 'em up game, kind of like X-Men, with Brian Strongoli. I forgot. Strongoli.
Stromboli.
And Stromboli, and
Delicious.
that shit was hard, man. Like I was like, damn, this is just all I gotta do is draw concept art. Fuck.
Yeah.
This is hard. Oh my god.
Yeah.
But yeah, so well, I think that's it, ladies and gentlemen. We've gone an hour and 40 minutes.
Oh shit.
Whoa.
Hard. We talked hard. It was a good one.
Yeah, it was good. It was good. All right, Kapil, rest in peace. You'll see him next time, guys.
Damn.
He wasn't here today because he's going hard in the paint, as one of our friends would say, on instant comedy, and he's killing it. Yeah, he's killing it. He's standing up.
Famous.
Yeah, he's gonna be famous, and I'm going to cash in as hard as I can when he does. And I'll be like, yeah, remember those times when we played Dynamite Bomb Squad? We were in there. Like
I fully
you owe me.
intend on living in his pool house and being the pool boy in the Speedo. It's gonna be horrible.
Yeah. I'll be one of his I'll be like, it's like Kevin Hart. I'll be one of the guys that will hang out and just like handle his Twitter.
Yeah.
And that'll be it.
Media manager.
Yeah, media man. There you go. That doesn't sound real. As soon as I heard,
It's a real thing.
I'm sure it is.
He's been dealing with them.
Sure is.
Oh man. Yeah, I'm definitely curious about that, but after the podcast.
Yeah.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's been great. We'll catch you all next week.
All right. Bye,
Bye.
guys.